It seems like Putin is definitely reaching back to the playbook that was that Russia used to use back in the 1970s and 1980s, early 1980s. President Putin, by essentially doing a slow motion takeover of Crimea and attempting to agitate for change in eastern Ukraine, is looking to improve his standing at home, to step up some of his sort of aspirational empire aspirations for putting together essentially a new Soviet Union. When you look at what's going on there, he clearly wants to extend his influence along satellite states along Russia's western border, and if he continues to agitate in the Ukraine and perhaps even invade the eastern Ukraine, that's a clear sign that the geopolitical relationship between the U.S. and Russia, which had thawed for many, many years, may be looking to head in the opposite direction once again. Well, it's unclear exactly how this tense situation is going to play out. If one side or the other overplays its hands, things could spiral out of control very quickly. But clearly Russia is already in trouble from a financial standpoint as a result of what it's doing. Creditors are looking to take money out of the country. They're selling Russian bonds. They're selling the Russian ruble currency. The currency has plunged more than 8% so far this year, and that's driving up inflation for the domestic Russian economy. The central bank there was already forced to raise its benchmark short-term interest rate to 7.5% from 7% to shore up the currency, but it really is also raising concerns amongst the ratings agencies. Standard & Poor's, for example, just slashed its sovereign debt rating for Russia to BBB-, which is just one step above junk status. Well, if Putin keeps flexing his muscles, we're going to see Russian GDP growth approach the zero bound, or in other words, Russia could get very close and possibly even slip into recession. In 2013, growth was only 1.3% for GDP there, which was the slowest rate in 4 years. So when you have an economy that's already weakening, and you layer on top of that a falling currency, rising inflation, and capital flight, you've got a recipe for a real economic mess. So what we have to see here is whether Putin weighs the economics, the bad economics of his adventurism, more strongly than maybe the political gain that he has and sort of the aspirational thoughts that he's been making in terms of reassembling the old Soviet glory days. So again, it's a very steep economic cost, and we just have to see which one of those forces wins out. This has been Mike Larson with Money and Markets.